evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode from the Scale Up Thursday series. My name is Rashmita, and I am the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. I'm here today joined by our very own host, Vivek and Vinayak, and of course, our special guest speakers, Pooran and Gagandeep. But before we begin the session, I would request you all to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section is open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. Our speaker will answer all your questions during the session, so please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat section. But before I hand over the show to Vivek, I would request you all to scan the QR code. It's a quick way to learn about the Microsoft for Startups Founder Hub program and how Microsoft for Startup team supports startup. They provide access to great AI services, expert advice, and the necessary tech to build a future-proof startup. With this, thank you all once again. Enjoy the show. Over to you, Vivek.
Hey Rashmita, thank you very much. And I welcome everybody to the show. One more episode of Scale Up Thursday. By the way, I'm Vivek. I'm part of the Microsoft for Startups team, and I'm an AI advisor for startups. And you can see I'm at Reactor today. You have a nice background. So, and also let me know where are you joining from in the chat so that we can see how diverse our audience are, and just put it on the chat. So I'll not waste much time. I'm going to bring in our guest, Vinayak, everyone into the show. Here we go. Vinayak is here, Gagan is here, and Pooran is here. Welcome to the show, Pooran and Gagan, and also Vinayak.
Hi
Thank you for
everyone.
having.
Perfect. So I'm getting in chat that people are joining us from Hyderabad. Somebody is joining us from Vishakhapatnam. So, bunch of people. So, good evening for all of you. Uh, but I'll go round robin. Okay. So, Puran and Gagan, just introduce yourself, and let us know. Let the audience know what's your background, because Puran is like a serial entrepreneur, so it's very hard to read through everything. So please go ahead, Puran, and then introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks Vivek and Vinayak for having us. Hi everybody, I'm Pooran. I run a company called OnePage. We help salespeople prepare for meetings faster. 22 years into IT. This is my second startup, and been a CTO of two other companies before this. This idea that we are working on is based on a patent that we had filed in 2013, which we got a grant in 2017, and when we started it. Gagan has been instrumental in beginning from the beginning of our product. And yeah, Gagan, over to you.
Gagan, if
Gagan,
you can hear us, you're on mute actually. If you're speaking, let me unmute you. Can you unmute yourself, Gagan? Yeah.
Good. Hello everyone. So myself is Gaganji. So I'm from one page from the starting, and here I am as a tech lead and handling all the dev stuff here. Yeah, thank you.
Gagan is a typical engineer. It's like I've done so many things before. It's just like I just had tech, and that's
I
it
take care
from
of
my
it.
end. So Vinayak, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
Cool. Hi, so my name is Vinayak Hegde, and I'm the CTO in Residence for Microsoft for Startups, and I work with startups worldwide, helping them actually scale their system and product, and I also help in training both startups and internal folks on how to interact with each other and also use emerging technology better. which includes AI as well. Cool. Vivek, maybe
Perfect.
let's start. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pooran, let's get started with your first slide to understand your background with one page. Let me bring up this slide. This is a slide, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So Pooran,
Yeah.
what is the history behind this? What is that? What triggered you to come up with a patent for this? And obviously, as you didn't mention this when you did an intro, you were part of our Microsoft MVP program. That is one of the program which you were part of. So you were very much affiliated with Microsoft from the beginning of your career, and you were part of that community activities and other things. And
Yeah.
just let us know what was your interest to go and build a patent around it, build a product like this. What was your background in terms of coming to this problem statement? And moreover, I am very much interested in the name of the company. How did you come up with the name of the company, which is like one page?
Yeah.
It's a perfect name for your company, by the way. So, but that's the thing which I think every founder should, whoever is watching this, should learn from you today, right? So Puran, yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I've been associated with Microsoft Technologies for almost 20 years now. I was an MVP for 2 years. We used to do a lot of events in Bangalore.it user group. And when Xamarin started, we actually created a group called X Hackers, and then that ran for a couple of years. After acquisition, Microsoft acquisition, we stopped that part. But that's the community engagement that we were actually building. This
Hmm.
idea was a pet peeve. I was actually in, I was supposed to head to a meeting in San Francisco. I was in Berkeley and I was taking a train. And unfortunately, my laptop was not working. I didn't charge it the night before, morning 8 o'clock. And my phone was also almost dying. So I had seen this guy's face on LinkedIn the day before. I went to that person in the Starbucks and found that guy from that face. And then instead of saying, "Hey John, how are you doing?" I said, "Hey, I'm Pooran. How are you doing?" Because I couldn't remember his name also. I was in such a big hurry. So for next 30 minutes, the meeting was everything under the sun except that what I wanted to talk. My research was in my laptop and everything. So at the time we were thinking of like, why can't we have a system, I mean, where which can give you all the information that you need on any device, any platform that you are currently on, so that you have everything for every meeting. So this was an idea in 2012, and then in 2013, we were in a hackathon in San Francisco called Launch Hackathon. We did a very early prototype of this product, and we won that launch hackathon sponsor prize and everything. So and post that we did a POC. It worked, but there were some technical issues like platform iOS was not ready and things like that. So we had to pause it. In 2017, when we got this patent grant, that's when we actually got started with the company. Earlier, this product was called what else? When somebody calls you, in 2 seconds, we used to tell who's calling. That's from your system like ECRM or email. And as soon as you get into a call, you will say, "Hello, John, how are you doing?" And then pick up who this John is. You may not know, but when you open that one page app, it will have that one page summary. So earlier, this product was for India and Chile. It worked amazingly. I was in Chile for 1 year. And we pick up calls, almost every call in India, right? And then when when we went to US as through Berkeley Skydeck, we had a kind of a setback. Like people are not buying the product. There was a cultural change. People don't pick up calls there; they leave it to voicemail, and whenever they have time, they get back to them. So we did a survey with around 1,300 salespeople across US, and these are all from Berkeley alumni. And then we asked this question like, what you liked and what you didn't like. They said they like the call feature, they like the data part, not the calls part. That's when we stopped and restarted our product with uh, the calendar as a starting point. Okay. Fast forward, a lot of people are still associating our product with calls, and there was no. We were though we are actually promoting the calendar part. That's when we had to rebrand. And first thing that came to us is like that one page, right? We used to say in one app you always wanted. That's our company name also, OAYAW Incorporated. And we also always used to say it's one page that you want. And that's the whole idea behind the product. Uh, so the naming also is kind of synonymous. So the whole concept premise this is like people always buy from people. I'll just give you a overview of what we do. People always buy from people. That means if two people are selling the same product to a person, they always try to go with the person that they are very comfortable with. So we are helping salespeople to search less and sell more with relevant data so that they can connect with other person better. Okay. The problem that we solve is inconsistent meeting prep. People don't prepare for meetings much ahead, and if they are back-to-back meetings, obviously they will not have that much of time to prepare. Also, though they intend to do it, and when they get into a meeting, they just try to, in a very simple word, they kind of ignore, they just go with the flow rather than actually be well prepared. And today we use a lot of applications like email, CRM, storage, support, and other applications. And your data is kind of siloed in all of those applications. And we, on a typical our enterprise, uh, salesperson uses at least 10 applications. Okay, that's a statistics from one of the SaaS metrics that we have seen. And inconsistent follow-ups. After the call, you would have committed to sending an email or following up with some questions that were asked. Most of the times, we just don't get back to them because there is no follow-up mechanism that is built. So there are three problems that we want to solve for every enterprise salesperson, technically a salesperson. The solution that we do is 5 minutes before every meeting, we give a one-page summary of everything that you have to know about the person, company, and insights from your own applications, conversation starters, so that when you get into a call, you have everything that you need. Okay. And after the meeting, we do another follow-up where you can actually take notes and automatically create follow-up tasks for your next meeting. So this way, we are making sure none of the activities that you have to do after the call are not missed. If you missed, even after giving the alert, if you miss it at 6 o'clock in the evening, we always also say, hey, there are three meetings that you didn't take notes for. Can you take notes for this? Okay. That's the way we kind of keep prompting them to take more notes for every meeting. So the product is all about the 5 minutes summary that we talked about. This is one of the, on the right side, you will see some of the examples of how it looks like. You have you have your first card, which talks about the person, and then you have upcoming events, and then all the mails. And Gagan will show you with the mails and everything. There's a demo. Last three emails is what you'll see. Attachments from that. You're using specific services, you can actually search in your actual mail itself. You can make your own notes, research. Insights is what I'm talking about, where we talk about this conversation starters. If you are from the same company, if you are from the same uh, university, or if you're from the same place, you can actually start a conversation on that and build a trust. In sales, 90% is actually getting comfortable with the other person, building a good rapport. And you can use any of these conversation starters to get started with. Uh, and then you have this conversation tips where we say what you're to say to this person, what you're not supposed to say to this person. In simple words, if this person is a straightforward person, you don't want to tell him stories, get to the point faster. If this person is a calculative person, get to the money matters first and then talk about anything else. So there are a lot of other insights that we can develop from various other integrations that we can actually work with the organization. But these are the basic ones that we give. Okay. Uh,
So
Currently we
Pooran,
integrate with.
so let me summarize until now, because one of the thing which you mentioned is very important for the audience who are listening to, is that this product came out of a hackathon, and that is very important point which you made, because people who are watching might be students, might be might be a startup which is building and other things. So that's one of the point which I just wanted to highlight here. This product came out of a hackathon. Okay, and just to summarize, there are sales calls which is happening, and salespeople go on to calls. There are 10 sales calls which happens even before they close the deal. A lot of things happen, a lot of discussions happens. There is a follow-up, there is a demo schedule. We need to schedule a demo, we need to do a lot of other things. So a bunch of these things, and even if you go to the next, if you're going for the next meeting with the same customer, you need to understand what were the previous conversations different people have had as well, right? It is not just me, but from different team members who have had the call with these people, and what was the conversation, what was the follow-up and everything, right? That's where one page comes in. So go ahead, Puran. I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
summarizing what you.
yeah.
Also,
With
one more
one, yeah,
Yeah, also one more
yeah,
thing I would like to add is I think yes, I think for a continued use, I think it's also great. But I think somebody who's new, who's getting onboarded, right? Like it's also great in some sense. I would say a sales sidekick to maybe even train and onboard that person, because as if you're in a fast-growing company or there are changes in the team, the knowledge in the team is not lost, right? The biggest challenge I think any organization has, and including like sales organization have, is that when there are handoffs from one person to another, for various reasons, there might be a drop. People may be unavailable. People might have quit the organization. There might have been some restructuring in the organization, or simply you're growing really fast and new people have onboarded. It's how do you kind of keep the knowledge inside the organization and actually help that scale as well. So while the immediate utility is actually to in some sense get the most out of a sales call, I think it also in because of the nature of the tool, it also facilitates that knowledge sharing between different people and does a very good job. I personally feel of capturing that knowledge within the organization for a much longer utility, I would say, while
yeah.
also kind of onboarding new people.
That's correct. The entire goal of the product is to consistently prepare for meetings. Okay, you don't want to miss anything from the past meeting, past conversations, and everything. The whole idea is you should have everything for every meeting. What to say, what not to say is basically how you will win or lose a deal, right? So those are things. Ultimate goal
That's an
is to build.
interesting feature. Actually, that's a
Yeah,
very interesting feature.
yeah, and we help you technically build a better rapport, and that way you can sell faster. Currently, we have around 3,700 companies using our product and around 8,500 daily active users across multiple platforms that we have. Two large enterprises in POC stage. We have done almost all the integrations Microsoft has offered. There's one slide on that also. And very soon we'll be on Zoom, WebEx, a couple of browser extensions also in play. Salesforce, HubSpot, and the applications by end of Q1 is on our roadmap. Okay. So with Microsoft, we are on Teams. So when you are in a call, on the right side, you'll get to see everything about the other person that you are meeting. On the web application, you'll get a uh, Chrome notification or any browser notification to say you are ready for a meeting and things like that. While you are writing an email to a specific person, on the right side, you'll get to see the person details so that you can actually pick some tidbits from there and actually incorporate in your mail. We are on all the Microsoft Dynamics 365 tools. There are like around 6 of them, major ones. Microsoft Business Central, Power Apps, and any you can if you're using Power App, you can embed in any applications that you are using. And obviously, very recently, we are part of Microsoft Copilot plugin development. We were also featured in Microsoft Ignite when Satya Nadella was presenting a couple of months ago. Very recently, we also enabled Bing Copilot. If you're using Copilot and if you're already a customer of one page, on the right side, you can actually start asking about your meetings with this person, or when is the next meeting with this person, or tell me about this company that I know of. All of those details right within your Microsoft Copilot and Bing Copilot. Uh, there are the integrations that we have currently: Office 365, G Suite, Zoho, on the mail. Storage, OneDrive, G Drive, Box, Dropbox. CRMs, we cover Dynamics 365 Suite, Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Fresh Sales, Zoho CRM, Agile CRM. In support, the most common ones, Freshdesk, Zendesk, and ServiceNow. Payment gateways like ChargeBee, if you're talking to the person, how much of money this person has given, when is the next renewal, those kind of things also you can get while you're in a call. With calls, we have integrated with Twilio, Exotel, Ozontel, and few are in progress. For company data sources, we have partnerships with Crunchbase, Owler, Standard Poor, Inside View, Zoom Info, Dun& Bradstreet, things like that. So if you already have a license with them, we can actually get that data as quickly as possible so that you don't have to go and open those data sources to do your research. Okay. Now we'll talk about a demo. Gagan, up to you.
Pooran,
Yeah.
before that, how how did you made a list of all these integrations? I mean,
So we
like you have
uh,
so many integrations done. So,
yeah.
I mean, how did you come up with these are the places where I need to be?
So most of them are what customers wanted. Funny thing, we were in Chile and almost 8 out of 10 people that we met, they wanted Pipedrive because they were using Pipedrive. So we didn't know about Pipedrive and people said we want it. So we went ahead and built it. So it's all about what people want and how they want to see the data. Another thing that we have seen is like they have folders in OneDrive, G Drive, and they want those files to be appearing on the page when they are talking to that customer, right? So we have added features like that based on what the customer wants. Like if you want all the case studies to be listed in one folder, or you search by a case study, that you can embed within that one card. So all of these are customer driven integrations, not like we want to do it because we have time and bandwidth. We also do that also in some cases because we want to get people on that platform also, but most of it is customer driven.
Perfect. And before we get into the demo, can we just spend some time on the tech behind this, right? So that people can understand what were your challenges while building it, and also people can understand how exactly this is structured in a summarizing way of your architecture.
Yeah. So we have three layers. One is the data that you have, which is your email, CRM, storage, support, any other applications that you have. That's your first level. Second level is data you want. You go to your LinkedIn first, and then you do your research on Crunchbase, Owler, Standard Poor. That's the second data you want. And the data you need is how to communicate with them. That's where our AIPs will come in and say, hey, talk to this guy in this format. There are things you can use. Uh, don't say this, things like that. And those are things that we are adding on top of it. So data you have, data you want, and the data you need. Those are the three things that we have done. So we have built a platform that can integrate any application in a week and customize it in a couple of hours. Say you're on one internal application where you have how the customer is using the product, and you want to do that. You want to use that information for your next meeting when you are pitching for an add-on or something else. You need to know what is the usage from one this one. So you have to open one more tab. You can actually have that embedded as one card. So that kind of integrations we do for any customer that they want. Like that's the integration platform we have. That's our core competence in a way. The data layer, integrations layer is all built on top of it. Okay.
Got it, got it. So you have, what is the AI architecture behind this? Because bunch of things is get into the co-pilots, and a bunch of this is summarized and it's coming up on the one-page tool, right? So what is
Yeah.
the architecture of the AI looks like?
So currently we train on two platforms or two LLMs, which is Llama 2 and OpenAI Enterprise. Where whenever whichever customer wants it on whichever LLM they want to use, we will be able to deploy our model on top of it and train it for them. That's one thing that we have started very recently because one of the customers said, uh, my marketing team wants another vendor who will use their own LLM. My sales team wants one. My operations team wants one. I cannot have multiple versions of LLMs. I want data to be staying on my platform on my LLM. That was one of the pivoting thing for us, and we have already started deploying a couple of models on that. Customer can bring in their own LLMs. We will train it on them because it's their data technically. None of the data that we are showing is coming out of their systems. It's on their systems itself. That's another thing that we have worked on. Uh, Apart from that, the personality training that we are doing, that is based on multiple things like disk analysis and ocean analysis, which will tell us how you can communicate with this person better. Okay, so and there's another layer that we are building, which that will go live in Q2, which will be how to use keywords to anchor the customer, and then doing more activities around that. That will go live sometime. So maybe in the next Scale Up Thursdays, we can have that discussion. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Th- There is one uh, message for Gagandeep actually from the
Yeah.
Okay.
audience, which is like just thinking how Gagandeep's development roadmap looks like based on all the integrations you showed. So there is somebody sympathizing Gagandeep's roadmap. Okay, perfect. So let's deep dive into demo Gagandeep. I think people would be really interested to see how this product really works and
Yeah.
what are the capabilities of this and a lot of things to take from the product. Yep.
Sure. Sure. Thanks, Vivek.
You can
Okay. Can
share.
you, uh,
Let me
Vivek? Can
bring up
you?
this screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you just a little bit zoom in if you can? Because it's too small to see.
It's not zooming in.
Yeah.
Just go to the three dots next to not there, above that. Just zoom. That zoom is there, no? Just go for one more.
Okay.
Is this okay?
Okay, this one more. Just
Okay.
120.
Is
Yeah,
this
I think
fine?
this is good. Yeah, this is good.
Great. Okay. So, this is the homepage of our one-page application. So, where we are listing all the events which is happening for today, and who is meeting in these events in the people today card. And this is now card where we are showing which is the event which is happening right now. And we have another card which is pending updates. For example, I have already attended one meeting and I forget to add a note, so I can directly go to this add note section and I can add the note from there. Okay, so starting with the today's card. So these are the events from the Microsoft and the calendar, Microsoft and the Google Calendar. And for example, if I'm opening this event and I can see all the details regarding this event, like subject of the meeting and with the attendees, and the description of the meeting with the links. And there is a join meeting link also where we can directly join. And we have the organizations where the organization from the different people are meeting here. uh, so and we can see the attachments which are attached with this event, and we can directly download here and we can see the details. And if we want to go to let's say this is a Thomas Hook which is meeting in my customer onboarding meeting, and on click on see insights, I'm directly going into the contact detail page, and where I can see all the cards. So let it load.
So this is the mails I was talking about on the top right corner. All the recent emails and attachments from there.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
these are the mails which I'm getting from the Microsoft, and this is the event which is which will happen today at 6:30, where I can directly jump into that event detail page. And these
Mm-hmm.
are the attachments from the mail, from the Microsoft mail. And we have the some easy to go to links where we have the research card where I can directly go to the LinkedIn profile of that person. Just directly click on that LinkedIn button and it will directly go to that LinkedIn page. And we have this insights card where we are showing the insights for that person. This is your 11th meeting with the Thomas, and Thomas has lived in these cities. Regarding the education and work information we are listing here, and these are the some tags where can we can directly see that tags for that person. And as Pooran discussed about the conversation tips and personality traits, so these are the cards what to say and what to avoid, which will have in the conversation during the meeting. And this is another car personality trait which will tell us like what things to note during the meeting with that person. And this cases card is from the Salesforce or any CRM where we can see the cases from the CRM for this contact, and we can see the opportunities account card where we can see the account details and the contact from the provider. It can be Salesforce, Dynamic CRM, or any CRM. So
So
this is about,
these, so
yeah,
this is basically a Teams integration, which you're uh,
Yes.
showing right now, right? But
yes,
similarly, you have these integrations with other tools which you mentioned, the
yeah,
Yes.
bunch of other tools which were there part of the integration.
yeah.
Okay.
I
True.
have,
And
yeah, sorry, go on.
go ahead, go ahead,
I
Vinay.
had a couple of questions around, I saw some interesting cards, right? One is like for insight. If you scroll down, one is like insights, and then you also had, tags. And at the end, I think you had, conversations. How do you generate each of these? Like, for example, tags, are they human
Yeah.
generated, or are you generating them using UI? And similarly, conversation tips and insights. How do you one ingest the data and generate these? That would be very interesting.
Yeah. That's the part that we are using AI for. It's all about making I mean, the choice of words is one thing that we rely on heavily in the mails, LinkedIn profile, or any public places that they have written specific text. So the choice of words define what kind of person they are. Obviously, nowadays, ChatGPT optimized profiles give this data, but most of the times we always double down and keep refining this data as and when we have more information, like mails or uh, the calls. When we have a call, the word choice obviously won't change there because they won't talk about ChatGPT in that way. So this is one conversation tips, and then we are talking about the uh, personality part. So the
Hmm.
insights is basically coming from various sources that we talked about, like Crunchbase, Owlet, Standard and Poor's, Zoom Info. They have already have some information on LinkedIn, which they would have already got. On top of it, they will give more information from there. That's the information that we are sourcing. Usually, it takes around 20 to 30 minutes for every sales meeting, and technically you'll be collecting all this information. Obviously, personality traits, you have to do some additional research, but everything else that we are talking about needs that much of time. So that's the whole idea behind this. The tags are coming from LinkedIn through our partners like Crunchbase, Owler, Standard and Poor, things like that. These are the conversation starters you can have. Like if somebody says, I don't know why it does the repeated stuff, but technically, if that person is into business strategy, you can start a conversation around business strategy or a continuous development. Depending on the topics that you want to talk with this person. You're seeing cases there. Cases can come from various sources. Like it could be a case that has been raised by you or if somebody from your organization. When you are getting into a upsell or a cross sell functionality, all right, that's when you will actually start with the customer will usually start with saying, hey, I have a couple of tickets open, we are not yet fixed those, why don't you fix them, and then we have a discussion of new business. But your goal technically at that point is let me check, and then you'll go to Crunchbase, what do you call this, Zendesk or Freshdesk, and check the status and tell them, hey, we are on track, or it is in progress or something. Our goal is to just give you that information. Hey, this is already closed. I think there's one in progress and there's a due date on so date. So that way you can actually alleviate their pain and then immediately you can start pitching for a new product. The goal is if you have that information, what you can do. That's what we are aiming at.
So
Could you
Puran, sure, sure. Go ahead, Vinay.
could you talk a little bit more about, any kind of fine tuning or any other AI techniques that you use in terms of models? I think you talked a little bit about models, but maybe what kind of fine
Yeah.
tuning techniques you used, and
So the
also are you using other models in conjunction with different modalities, for example?
yes. So like I told you, the data that we train on is one set of data that we get from one of our partners. On top of it, we every time a mail communication happens or a meeting happens, the word choice we always keep track of and update. Hey, maybe this is what in the disk profile, right? You might be a type of D or C or I that we optimize over a period of time. That rating values change based on that. What to say to this guy next also changes. So we retrain them with every couple of instances of interactions with that person so that over a period of time we can give a better personality trait update. Okay. uh, yeah, go ahead, Vinayak. Okay, so yeah, the AI piece technically, as I told you, we are going LLM agnostic. For one customer very recently we started talking about SLM also, short language models, where we don't need a 7 billion talking points kind of stuff. I mean, like data points. We are looking at smaller data points. So SLM is also in play for one of the customers, and they are very specific about their industry, and we are training their terminologies they use and things like that. We are going with a templatized model where we can pick and choose what they want for that organization and make sure they get a very crisp talking points for every conversation. So this data, what you are seeing, the cards that you are seeing are not like they will always be in this format and things like that. If you have your own product and you want data from there, like for example, how if I'm talking to this customer who is using our product for 6 months, if I am able to see how many users are active in that, how much of usage is done, how much of credits they used. If you have that information from your system, you can actually embed as one card in this application. That way, you don't have to open that application, and you can give a link back to your application to check number of users active or any of those things, pages in your application. That way, you can embed any data. That's what we are talking about. Okay.
So Puran, there are some questions in the chat, so I just want to bring those up as well. Before we proceed with the demo. Um, there's one question from Ishan, which is one page looking to position themselves as Salesforce alternative, or are they trying to sell APIs to platform like Salesforce?
Technically, we are not competing with Salesforce. We are actually leveraging Salesforce. Okay. Uh, Actually, Salesforce India director is one of our investor. His biggest pain point is people don't update Salesforce or any CRM for that matter quite often. I had a meeting, they don't update saying that we had a meeting. They had made some notes on their notebook, but that didn't go to your CRM. So those are things that are always happening. Our goal is to kind of update the CRM with enough information. You want to bring more visibility to your CRM rather than becoming one ourselves. So technically, we have connected to almost all top 8 CRMs: Salesforce, Dynamic CRM, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Fresh Sales. Our goal is to bring more visibility to that rather than becoming an alternative for that. Okay. So not competing. Actually, we are also in next coming weeks, we are also embedding Salesforce app inside as a app exchange app so that you can actually, while you're on a Salesforce page, you can see one page data there. Okay.
Got it.
There's a meeting.
I'm
Another
bringing up.
question.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm bringing it up. So do the cards category change based on the context of every mail or meeting conversation? For example, a series of meetings is happening every week, every time, completely different topics.
True. See,
Shalini is asking this question. Yeah.
yeah, technically it works in two different ways. It depends on transcription. Okay. We are working with a couple of vendors who have meeting transcription, and you can have, there will be one more card which will say tasks. They're the things that we discussed. Have you completed it? And who's supposed to work on that? That list will also get added to here. So if we are, I mean, based on category, I don't know what it means, but context, yes, we can add more context to every call. uh, People cards, that's what we are talking about. But in the meeting level, we can add more. This is at a context, this is at a contact level, right? At a meeting level, we can, if you want more cards with context, yes, we can do that. So that depends on a very custom development. We can surely add that as a next step. Okay.
So, Puran, one question I had was like, what if the meeting is happening in person? So,
You
how do
can
you
record the,
capture today?
yeah, we can record the call, one. And while you're
Mhm.
in talk, actually open your phone and you can check it. And very soon on a wearables also you can check it. As if you're checking time, you can actually go and do a research about that person and use a conversation starter. The
Okay,
goal is you should.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah, perfect. I got that. Now, so there is one more question like, can we get a one-page API specification? I'm not sure that is um,
uh,
that's open.
Currently open our APIs, but we work with a lot of API vendors. uh, we don't have an option yet. We are not seeing any use for it at the moment, but if there's a use case, please drop a mail, we can discuss. Okay.
Perfect. So there's one question from Ratan. So we build a GPT to automate a sheet to do everything leads and communication. Can we integrate our GPTs to one page?
You can. Basically, everything goes into your CRM, right? If it is going to a CRM, we can do that. You can also write a custom integrations. That's what our product is all about, right? You can actually get the data from whichever source it is. Like for example, there's one request that we have for now. If I can import the data from Apollo and then make sure there's an attachment kind of stuff. Yeah, those are things that are possible very much. So if you have a list in one document, we can actually import that and make sure you have meetings set up for that and everything. If you have a meeting with that person, obviously you get that information about that person. That's how we plan it.
So I think this is one of the last question before we proceed with the demo. So can it
Yeah,
be integrated with mobile phones or our own mobile apps? I think yes, but
technically
yeah.
we had mobile apps, iOS and Android, and we also had a desktop and a Windows and Mac app. We brought it down a couple of months back because we are rebranding and versioning our products and all. Gagan is actually on that. Is working
Yeah.
on the next set of version, next mobile apps that will go live by end of this month. So if you're interested, we can always talk about it. Obviously, we use Mavi for Xamarin, earlier
Cross
Xamarin version.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been. I mean, the
You're
very
you're
first version.
you're Microsoft MVP. So like we know it. You're Samurai.
Yeah. So the
But I
entire
do
thing is
sympathize. Yeah, I do. I mean, after seeing all this roadmap, definitely I think somebody had sympathized with Gagandeep, right? I do sympathize with Gagandeep. Like, look at the integrations, look at the number of things you're doing. I mean, it's just amazing from an app development perspective, right? It's just so many features coming in and so many stuff happening out there, which is amazing.
yeah,
So
he
I
loves
think we have
development.
planned
So
little more demos, so you can just proceed with the demo.
sure, please go ahead.
Okay. So I'm closing this contact tab. So here we have the profile section where we have the options to connect the providers, to change the language and other options. So if we are connecting, going to the connect providers page, so these are the integrations currently we are on the there, and some are not enabled here, but these are the integrations that are live in the application, and we can directly go any calendar and we can sign in there. And we can go to Google Calendar, Zoho Calendar, or any other calendars. And
Yeah.
we have a contact list page where we can see all the contacts which we met in the past meetings, and we are going to meet in the upcoming meetings, and we can directly search that person. And we are syncing the CRM contacts leads also here. So if we have connected the Salesforce CRM, then we can see the contacts from Salesforce also. And let's go to the Copilot part. So, uh, so this is the Copilot window where I can search from the one page. Let's say find contact details of Thomas from one Barnes company in one page. So this is the query which I'm writing to find that person from the Copilot, and it is querying. So at this time, Copilot is searching for that person in the one page. Okay, here are the results with the little bit summary and the card. So this is the summary what we are showing from the Copilot view. And on click on open, it just open our one page for that contact, where we can directly go to that contact and we can see the insights for that contact. This is the integration with the Copilot. And same with is going with the office also, and 365 also. Yeah, this
So,
is
so
from
I
my
can
side.
ask anything in the Copilot. Is it like, let me
Yeah.
know what I should be discussing with this person or something like that. Is
So
Yeah.
that also?
we have limited some of the capabilities there, but simple reason that we don't want to give too much of information there in the chat. We want people to come to one page to see them information. We had actually a couple of discussions around that. The goal is what you need to get the context first and then come back to our website. So the same thing you can actually the whole application what you're seeing currently can also be accessed directly from the website if you are not on Teams or something like that. But if you're inside Teams or any of the Microsoft applications, and that you have access to one page just by clicking on the left side of the information. Okay. So there are various applications. If you are interested, you can please let us know. We can set up a demo. But this is the crux of it. There's too much to demo, demo. But yeah, we are happy. We're able to take more questions.
Perfect. Uh, I think this is amazing. You know, the kind of the product growing from a hackathon and coming up into an enterprise, and and a lot of users, 3,000 plus companies using it, which is so amazing to see. A real good story for hackathon. Like in fact, we can take this one page as like a hackathon product out there, which people can really look up to. Is what I was even thinking when I was seeing all of these things. And so, I mean, obviously, there are a bunch of things you will add as a capability from an AI perspective in future features. There are a bunch of going to be a lot of things coming from AI to help you to build that one page summary as well. So, audience, if you have any questions, please drop those questions in the chat. We are happy to answer those questions. We still got 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes. We'll be here. Um, any other thoughts, Puran and Gagan, which you want to share with the audience, um, or
Yeah.
how I can try this? So that might be one of the question. I think I know
Uh,
everybody will have. Like, I want to try this uh, and see how exactly it works for me as an individual. If I'm meeting some people, how do I capture stuff for myself? It's like that.
yeah. So the links that we have shared, you can actually use go to Teams, search for one page, you'll be able to add in less than 10 seconds almost all the what do you call flow wise, and you can be ready for the next meeting. Uh, and on mobile, if you are using Teams, you'll be able to access the same information inside mobile, iOS and Android also. There's a if you want to try it on a web application, that is also that's also straight off possible. If you're using Copilot, Bing Copilot, or even one Microsoft Copilot, you can actually add one page as a plugin, and that also will work for you. Uh, for There's a free version. Free version gives you three free credits to get insights from the other person, but you can integrate with all the applications that we have. That will work without any additional charge. If you want more insights for people that you're meeting, you just pay $1 per credit and get request insights for that person. That's one. Two, if you're doing as an enterprise, if you are trying it out, we charge $100 per user per month, and you get 100 free credits. Technically, it's $1 per credit. That's what we are selling it for. And integrations wise, almost everything that you saw are all pre-configured by your IT admin. So you don't have to go and sign into your email, CRM, or storage, or any other application for that matter. So that way, the moment you get started, you have everything ready to get started. So very recently, we onboarded one customer with the new revamped enterprise version. And for the existing other customers, we will rolling out the same one for now. For all of you, if you want to try it, please go to one of the links that you saw there, and please join and give us a feedback. What you like, what you didn't like. You can connect me on LinkedIn and ask any questions that you might have. Okay, I will put in my LinkedIn also on the chat.
So one question I had was for people who want to use AI with your tool, like for example OpenAI.
Mhm.
So you are connecting to their OpenAI infrastructure and then working on it.
Yeah.
You don't have
So
any specific LLM or with your on your platform to work on it. Like you just directly connect to there and use it.
yes. So that we were using Llama 2 and OpenAI Enterprise for getting these generated insights and everything. But uh, of late, the request has been to have, I mean, like we have to put our models on their enterprise model, and that's what we are trying. Currently, we are doing one on Mistral as a trial, and one SLM for one small company that they want very specific terminologies and everything. They don't want like large data set. So we are open to trying our model on any platform, any model, and deploy it and their own local infrastructure. That's how we are doing it.
Perfect. Perfect. So if you audience, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. Or else if you have questions after this event, just reach out to Puran, Gagandeep. You can reach out to Gagandeep, how he manages all these integrations as well. He will give you a bunch of direction in terms of how exactly you need to plan such a product and how to we cannot discuss everything in this just one Skill Thursday show, but you can definitely reach out to Gagandeep and get lots of insights. And I'm going to reach out to him to understand how he builds all these features for sure. And
Yeah.
it is open for everybody else as well. So as of now, I don't see any questions. So I think people will go back and try and they will spend time on this. Puran, thank you for being on the show. And thank you, Gagandeep, for being on the show. And this has been a very inciting, insightful discussion because lots of learning. Few takeaways which I have, basically for me is uh, hackathon project, becoming an enterprise, how Gagandeep actually does the whole application development of this with lots of integrations. And how he even keep remembers, have that list and how he remembers it, and bunch of other things from a one pager and how sales work, and what kind of products you can actually build with AI, which will just improvise your improvise your day-to-day activities. It's complex out there, right? It's sales is complex. There are a bunch of tools out there, but this is actually solving a bunch of things, and the reason why 3,000 companies are using it as well. So, with here, I would like to end the show, but any final thoughts, Puran and Gagandeep and Vinayak? Just share your thoughts.
Thanks for having us. This was really helpful to do an outreach also and getting to meet a lot of people with interesting questions also. Looking forward to our next Skill Up Thursdays when we implement and by Q2. Let's see, there are a lot of updates that are coming up. Thank you.
Thanks, Vivek, for
Thank you.
the yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Hopefully, we'll see you next time as well in the next episode. We'll have another
Yeah,
entrepreneur here as well. Bye, everyone.
sure.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank
Sure.
you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, audience, for joining. And you've been a wonderful audience. There were so many questions. Thank you very much. And we have another startup coming in few days. We will. It is already announced. I believe it is there on our Microsoft Reactor website. Just go and sign up for it, and this will that will be another amazing discussion because it's Kisan.ai. So we will see a
Yes.
lot of things to learn from that. Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you all.